Welcome, boys and girls. My name is Miss Noreen, and I'm here with you for another exciting lesson in ELA. Today's lesson focus will be ELA Grade 4, Module 11, Day 5 into Writing Poetry. The genre that we will focus on is poetry or poems. Today we will focus on a special type of poem called a haiku. Read along with me as I read the focus statement. Poetry is both delightful and magical. Follow along as I read the lesson objectives, boys and girls. Understand the structure of a haiku and write a haiku. As I stated, boys and girls, today we're going to focus on haikus, which are a type of poetry. We're going to learn what haikus are made of and how we can write haikus. All right, boys and girls, we are going to do a brief activity now. I want you to close your eyes as I read a haiku. While I'm reading, think about what the poem is telling you. What are you feeling? What are you seeing? What are you hearing as I read the words in this poem? Here we go. The tree shape I blew from a little drop of paint looks like a dancer. Open your eyes, boys and girls. What did you see? What did you feel? What did you hear? Those are all questions you should ask yourself about how poetry instills feelings within us as we read the words. Today, you will learn about haikus and how we can use a small amount of words to create poetry that instills feelings and emotions in us. A haiku is a traditional form of Japanese poetry. The very first books ever written in Japanese were collections of legends and poems. The most famous kind of Japanese poem is the haiku. It's a very short poem with only 3 lines. Yes, you heard that correct. It's a poem with only 3 lines. But it's a beautiful poem that's able to help us imagine things using only those short and brief words. The most famous haiku poet was Basho, who was born in 1644. Here is an English translation of his best-known poem, The Old Pond. A frog jumps in, sound of water. What does that make you imagine, boys and girls, as you hear those words? A haiku is a very short poem, boys and girls. Like I stated earlier, it's only 3 lines, and each line has a certain amount of syllables that are allotted for that line. The first line is 5 syllables, the second line is 7 syllables, and then the last line is 5 syllables again. Now here's a haiku to help you remember. I am first with 5, then 7 in the middle, 5 again to end. This should help you remember the 5-7-5 rule in a haiku. Remember, a syllable is a part of a word pronounced as a unit. It is usually made of a vowel alone or a vowel with 1 or more consonants. The word syllable has 3 syllables. Syllable. How many syllables are in the word poetry? Poetry. 3 syllables. How many syllables are in the word haiku? Haiku. 2 syllables. Do you understand what are syllables, boys and girls, and how to break up words into syllables? Because that is very important for us to understand in order to write our haikus. An animal, a season of the year, a raindrop, or a snowflake are all examples of things you might write a haiku about. Haiku are usually based around themes in nature. Here's an example. Green and speckled legs. Hop on logs and lily pads. Splash in cool water. What animal do you think this haiku is describing? Well, if you thought a frog and it came to your mind as you read that poem, then you are correct. We're going to watch a brief video about haikus and listen to a few interesting and fun haikus. Here we go.
What is a haiku?
Short lines that do not need rhymes.
I can dig it. Check out this haiku. Look at that caterpillar inching along. I wonder if he eats apples.
No, man. I guess I should have explained a little bit better. A haiku is a traditional Japanese poem that follows a very specific structure. 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables. That's 5 for the first line, 7 for the second, and 5 for the last. Get it?
Got it.
Good. Check this out. Pink lotus flower, doused with droplets of cold rain. A distant bird sang.
I can dig that. Now check this one out. Birds on a wire. A chilly wind breezes by. I wish I had wings.
Yeah, you did it.
Groovy.
Now let's go write some more haikus.
I can dig it. What?
All right, boys and girls, let's try this together now by coming up with our own haikus. We're going to write a haiku using the 5-syllable, 7-syllable, and 5-syllable structure that a haiku is composed of. However, we're going to get some help by using a poem generator. Here we go. All right, boys and girls, we're going to use this online generator to help us generate a haiku. We're going to fill in the boxes and see what poem we can come up with. The first part, a time or year, time of day, or setting. I'm going to use summer, an adjective to describe what time or place. I'm going to use sunny, 2 singular nouns that would not usually expect to find in the same sentence. How about beach, and how about dolphin? Another adjective, how about hot? And a verb, swim. We're going to enter a pen name. I'm going to enter Noreen. And I'm going to click on write me a poem. So let's zoom out because we know that our poem has to be 3 lines. This is my poem, Beach by Noreen. Cheerful summertime, a beautiful hot beach swim. Into the dolphin. That's a cool poem that I was able to generate with using some of the words that I provided. Now it's your turn, boys and girls. You will be generating a poem of your own. Here are some images to inspire you. Remember, haikus deal with a lot of themes in nature. So look at some of these pictures and see if they can spark some interest in you as you try to generate some ideas for your haiku. Boys and girls, you will utilize this link right here, which will be provided to you to generate your poem. Just as I did by plugging in different words such as adjectives, verbs, and nouns, you will be able to utilize the generator to insert those words, and then a poem will be generated for you. If you really feel inspired, you do not have to utilize the generator and you can make your very own haiku. But remember, a haiku is 5 syllables, 7 syllables, and 5 syllables. Go ahead, boys and girls, pause this video and either go to the online generator and generate a poem or think of a haiku of your own. I can't wait to hear what you come up with. Welcome back, boys and girls. I'm sure you came up with some great and awesome poems using the online generator or composing them on your own. Now it is time for the independent work part of this lesson. For your independent work, in your writer's notebook, you will write a haiku about a topic of your own choosing. Remember the format of a haiku. It is 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables. Thank you so much for watching, boys and girls. To summarize, today we learned what a haiku is composed of. We learned the structure and format of a haiku. We also learned how to write haikus. This is Miss Noreen logging off. Happy learning, boys and girls.